you.
Great.
Well, Cole, it's great to hear that the spirit of drag racing is alive and well, regardless of what happens with corporate drag racing and the big honchos on TV. Every weekend at some racetrack, somebody's out there tearing up the track.
Well, I have a story in this collection called "Bury My Heart at Edwards Air Force Base," and what that's about is the first Muroc reunion. And kind of like the land speed guys, but really more like the El Mirage crowd and the Bonneville crowd, and those guys are building cars out of swing sets, and so it doesn't, I don't know if they're putting an Allison motor on a swing set and putting some wheels attached to it or whatever they're doing, but what I'm saying is that will always flourish and survive, no matter the dictates of the economy or how much corporate patronage is available for any given racing endeavor. And I think that, like this year in specific, you've seen so much money go away that it's really testing the resourcefulness and the ingenuity of the people that will hot rod and drag race no matter what.
Now, I guess I should be the TV host and ask, where is this book available? Where can people get their hands on Top Fuel Wormhole?
You can go to topfuelwormhole.com. You can go to Amazon. You can go to a place called lulu.com and, part with your credit card information, and it should show up a week later.
Perfect. Now, you were mentioning the Dry Lake deal, and when I was reading the book, I remember there was a part there where you got a chance to interview Wally Parks. And you mentioned that your interview kind of, it was unexpected, and then it got kind of cut short. What would you have asked him if you had had more time, or what did you look back later and say, gee, I wished I had asked him this?
Well, I remember that interview, and again, that was at the Muroc reunion, and that was something that Wally was instrumental in bringing back, because besides founding the National Hot Rod Association and being the original publisher of Hot Rod Magazine, he was also an integral member of the Southern California Timing Association. And, in those days, it was just very solitary and remote and kind of pure, and it was like a pure enthusiasm. And I think he was trying to bring that back with the Muroc reunion when I just happened to run into him. But my point is that he was there and he was looking at this thing that was so different than what you would see at Pomona or Indy or Englishtown or what have you, and I kind of felt that he was missing that, or maybe he was welcoming all of his. He was proud of his success and accomplishments with the National Hot Rod Association, getting it on TV and all the members, etc. But I think my feeling was that he had lost something in the transition. His heart was still at Muroc.
And he knew it.
Yeah, when you say pure, do you mean like they did it for the love of the sport and not the money back then?
Yeah, and that's not to take anything away from anybody who's in a modern Top Fuel car. Like Anton Brown, I'm sure absolutely loves what he's doing. Don't get me wrong.
You have to make a living.
You do have to make a living.
I can respect that.
Except when these guys got out of the car at Muroc, whatever they said was exactly what they felt, and not what they were adhering to a script that was dictated to by a sponsor.
They weren't thanking 10 sponsors first and then saying what they really felt in their heart.
Right. If it ever got to the part where they were able to speak their mind and their heart. But what I'm getting at is with Wally, I tried to ask him real questions, and I feel that I failed because he also had the script down. And I got in a lot of trouble because when I interviewed Wally, I thought that I was looking at like the Mr. Lincoln exhibit at Disneyland, and
what animatronic.
Well, he was just giving me, it was random access memory scripted answers that were coming out, and I was trying to get something real out of him because I knew there was something real there. And I'm not using this as a platform to bag on Wally Parks.
Who you really wouldn't bag anyway because you admire everything he said out. It may not have been,
I'm just getting at there's a duality with some of these figures.
Right.
Like, and I likened him to Charles Foster Kane and Citizen Kane. Tremendous accomplishments, but there's also something else going on, and that needs to be tapped into.